Hi. Let me tell you a little bit about my teaching philosophy. It's quite different from most of the other Central Bachata classes out there. And so it might be a little surprising or foreign when you come to one of my sessions. And I want to explain a little bit the background. Most classes are taught as choreography classes. You'll have some great instructors that show you a pattern, and from the distance you're going to observe their movements and you're going to try to imitate their movements. I teach technique-based. So to give you an example, as part of a pattern, you might lead someone to like a side body wave, and they'll just kind of give you the shape, and then you repeat the shape, your follower does a shape, the leader does a shape, and you don't have a lot of leading and following going on because the follower knows what to do, the leader knows what to do. Sometimes I'll tell the follower, pretend like you don't know, and then that sometimes leads to the opposite, where followers are really resistant and you have to push them way more than you actually need to if you were leading some. So what I do instead is, I look at a technique. Maybe in one class we want to learn how we trace together. If you're a follower leader and you want to be able to have your movements in sync, and maybe you want to use this with these kind of circular movements, maybe a side body wave, maybe a side body wave coming down. And we're going to explore the movement in a way where I give the leader multiple options. So the follower you can't tell because we're not doing a pattern. So the follower you have to actually pay attention to if you're going up, if you're interrupting here to going back down. And as a leader, if you try to do the move where you go up and you want to interrupt, but your follower goes up all the way, you have immediate feedback, you're not doing the stopping well enough. And in that way, you're actually going to learn as a follower how to follow better, and as a leader how to lead better. Plus, as a leader, you have to be a little creative. You can't just blindly follow the choreography you're given, but you have to come up maybe with some little ideas. Okay, let's go back down, let's go back up, let's do a standing wave. So it's developing you a lot more as a dancer and gives you skills, and that help you learn faster. Another part of my teaching philosophy is, in typical classes, you'll often be shown the correct body movement. Maybe we have an infinity circle with the hips. And if you look at the teachers, it'll look really pretty. If you look at the students, they're going to struggle for a long time. Part of the challenge of learning that way is that when you're trying to copy the hips, at least for me, like I used to have a mindset of like wrong, that's wrong, I have to be exactly like this. It's like a very negative mindset. And you're also repeating the same movement, so you don't get a lot of insight into how your body can move. So how I teach it usually is, let's just explore movement. We can move our hips side to side, or we can move our hips in tilts, so we can bend our knees. We can, if I try to look at my butt cheek, I kind of get my hip to swivel out. And there are all these ways how we can explore the possible movements in the hip. And rather than labeling anything as wrong, we can label it like, and create a library like, this is option number 1, this is option number 2, option number 3. And later, as we need different types of hip movements, we can just go to our library and pull the right thing out. And this way of learning, you have less of a negative mind space. Also, your body learns better by just exploring movement and discovering, rather than narrowly trying to get the correct movement.